Hello, my name is Kat, from the hit YouTube channel Do Not the Cat. Recently, as a veteran of War Thunder, I decided to try out Gaijin's other game, Enlisted, and by God, have I become addicted. There's flying, there's driving, there's even walking. But after playing for around 80 hours, I found that there's one activity that rules them all: monkey-inspired psychological warfare. Using this whiteboard, let's take a look at the different principles that goes into guerrilla warfare. And what's wrong? You never seen an alpha male before? First, there are many different types of primates, one of which is the macaque. Macaques are aggressive as shit, which gives us our first point: anger. And while I'm here, let me just label this guerrilla warfare. Perfect. Next up is the humble gorilla, which I haven't been punched by one, but I imagine it fucking sucks. So we'll put that to the list as well. I don't know what to label this. It's like a bus. After that, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it looks really fast and really agile. So we're gonna add that to the list as well. Beautiful. And finally, the chimpanzee, which represents brutal and unwarranted violence towards anybody and everybody. Seriously, don't fuck with chimps. Now that we have our core principles down, let's take a look at a few games and see how this applies in battle. First up, we're going to be channeling our inner macaque. As with every game, the first thing to do is establish dominance, and to do that, we'll be using this, the German party bus. While some people use APCs to establish well-placed yet mobile spawn points, we'll be using this to do what is known in the Monkey Kingdom as pulling the fuck up. Never mind. I quickly get myself into a defensive position, and then I remember what I was put on this earth to do: to brutalize the ever-living shit out of not only that crew, but the crew behind him as well. With blood on my hand and a smile on my face, I finally stand back, look to my left, and come to an understanding that monkeys are in fact vulnerable to heavy machine gun fire. Unfortunately for them, the same cannot be said about German armor. So a bitch slapped his Grant off the face of the fatherland and pushed forward towards victory, which came pretty easily considering our team actually used their brain for once. For our second game, we'll be summoning our inner gorilla, which is to say that we're going to continuously beef up to the block and use our threatening size to scare the shit out of the enemy and convince them that, simply put, it ain't worth it. Unfortunately for them, they didn't get the memo, so I sent it to them in little 75mm high explosive packages. Using this technique, I did basically fuck all, because apparently my team was an SS division, seeing as they steamrolled the Americans at speeds which has not been seen since the 1930s. Entering our third game, we're going back to channeling our inner whatever the fuck this is. To do that, we just kind of fucking zoom. The thought process behind this is that if we don't know our next move, the enemy certainly can't anticipate it. Capping a point, run through every room and shoot out of every window. Placing a spawn point, move it 20 seconds later just in case they were onto you. About to shoot an enemy, bash his skull in just in case he was actually secretly bulletproof. Never let them know your next move, which is why I promptly killed myself instead of letting the bastards take me. For our final game, we'll be exploring our inner chimpanzee. As always, the first step is to pull the fuck up, and then promptly get mauled by cave Americans. After this, I proceed to brutalize half the enemy team on the surface, eventually getting the opportunity to observe a rare American half-track, and unfortunately for it, these hands are rated E for estrogen. This continues on for an honestly impressive amount of time, where I slaughter a squad, die, and then bring back another soldier which I have parked around the corner. Eventually we started taking the next point, so I pull out the German party bus. On the way, my passengers, bumping only to the most Christian of EDM music, vaporize a little Timmy up on the hill. This would come back to bite me, as before he turned into a little red stain on the rocks, he called in his older brother, and my mortal enemy, the filthy half-track, this time with eyeballs. 10 seconds later, I'm ambushed by a hail of John Browning's little tiny children, and parking my shit, I attempt to neutralize the threat. This does not go well, and my entire squad dies. Little does he know, however, he just fucked up, so I'm spawning in the actual gorilla squad. With this, I quickly sneak over and silently, stealthily, carefully, kick his shit in and dance on his corpse. After finishing up business, I proceed on as usual, slaughtering the soldiers, their wives, and their wives' boyfriends, and then I drive a car into the pit of doom, ultimately securing that dub. So now that we've played a few games, what are the results? Well, considering I was at the top of the team every game, I can safely say that channeling your inner pesky primate, similar to Grandma, absolutely fucking slaps. And I implore you to give these tactics a try for yourself. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and tune in for next week where I play Enlisted using tactics I learned in my vacation to Birmingham. Peace.